Bubbles, narcissist, Medusa, Epasos, Ashalalala, sisters, me never a kabubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, vintage, Hera, messy colors, I love that.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Invitational Season 3, powered by HyperX, and we have Booyah as our broadcast partner. It is day 2 of this invitational. My name is Apollonia. I'll be your host and caster, and joining me on the panel, you already know him for his style of casting. You know, you guys nickname him the Rap God. It is aggressive caster and analyst. Aggressive! It's so great to see you, and today we are going to watch Team Mahi go up against Force One. How are you feeling? How do you think this is gonna go?
Now, Force One is a team that I'm really excited for. Let's go into the map video screen as we talk a little bit more about the team itself. Now, Force One, it is a new organization, not a new organization. It is an established one, but at the same time, this is a new roster picked up by them. But this roster has very familiar faces. We know for a fact who they are. They're Scargod, it's Shivy, RVK, Rafa from the side of TT, and of course, Knight Rider finally making his debut after a long break because of his injury. It's going to be really exciting personally, Oppo, and we already know what Team Mahi can do. They are one of the best teams in our entire region, and they have a vengeance to go up against GE once again to take the title away from them.
Indeed, Team Mahi and Force One. Now, for map 1, we're gonna have Haven. And map 2, it will be Ascent. If we do go into a map 3, that will be Bind. Now, map number 1, Haven, this map was picked by Force One. So, you know, we like to think that Force One's going to have a little bit of an edge over Team Mahi. But if you look at the history of both these teams, I do believe that Team Mahi might have a little bit more of an impressive record. But when you're talking about all these players individually, they are right up there when it comes to mechanical skill, when it comes to their prowess. They are very well versed in what they do. Now, what is also very interesting, you know, Force One, they're a new roster, they've just been picked up. And looking at Team Mahi, Antidote will not be playing today. And instead of Antidote, we're going to see some Vibor. So Antidote, he is the dedicated jet player of the team. And Vibor, from when we used to see him, you know, it was months ago, he's kind of just made a return now. He was always a sub. What do you think he's going to be on, Aggressive?
Personally, I do believe that he is the person to normally play those smokes and play those sentinels, but this is going to be a huge question mark for me because previously we did see Hellfighter always playing that sentinel before now also plays the sentinel role, so this is going to be quite an interesting pickup to say the very least. So we need to go into the match screen itself to see what he will play. But I personally do believe that he, of course, is going to be playing the smoke, maybe swapping out with Hellfighter from time to time, but that is his primary matchup. But I do believe when we're looking at the map of Haven, it is very it's very common to see both sides pick up that Phoenix and the Jet, because that is the strongest composition in this one particular map. And I do believe both of these teams at this high enough level, they will not try anything spicy. They will stick to the comfort, they will stick to the meta, and they should be able to come out on top. And as the match starts, I'm going to give you this question. Which team do you think has that much more synergistic nature? Yes, of course, we know what Team I can do, but considering the players that the side of Force One have, do you think that maybe they have a little bit of an edge because of the surprise factor that they bring down to the table against the side of Team I?
Oh, right. Looking at both teams, I would think that, Team Mahi, they might have just a little bit more synergy. We have no clue that how this is going to work out now that Vibor is here and there's no antidote. But hey, Team Mahi, they could be practicing behind closed doors. We don't know what they're doing. But when you're looking at Team Mahi as a team, they have stuck together for at least half a year. So it's been months there. And on the other hand, here we have Force One. Scargod, Knight Rider, and Shivy. These three names come in a package. They have been playing together. I do believe since the very beginning of the Valorant competitive scene. So this trio, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And now when you look at RVK and Rafa, they are known for their insane skills and flashy plays. Rafa has definitely made his mark on the scene, and it's also great to see both him and RVK fit themselves, and hopefully, they're like the perfect pieces of a jigsaw puzzle, which is Force One.
The much more interesting factor for me personally, I will say that both of these teams have opted to go in for the exact same composition, but I primarily will always say that this composition in particular is much more attacking favorite. And I'm really looking to see that the side of Force One, they understand this and come out on top when it comes to their own attacking half. Because you do need to understand Team Mahi as a team, yes, they're really strong on the side of defense, but their attack strats are just super clean as well. The way they attack, the way they coordinate wouldn't be a massive problem towards the side of Force One if they don't play their cards right and make as many rounds as they possibly can on their own attacking half. And I'm really looking to the side of the Phoenixes, because if Rafa is able to give a massive impact for his side and bring his team together and let them enter down into a side, let it be through the side of Garage, maybe get it through from the side of Short, it is a lot of space already being covered, and a lot of utility needs to be baited out in this one series composition as well.
Yeah.
Because of the more utility you bait out, the easier it is going to be for you to enter down into a side, hold down the post plants, and keep the defenders guessing of where your positions are going to be. And yes, this composition is a little bit straightforward, but it has a lot of potential if the side of the team, whichever team is using it properly, is very creative in comparison to the other.
All right. Now we are in a little bit of a pause. We will begin with the action as soon as both teams are ready. So remember, if you want to play like the pros with a 144Hz 1MS gaming monitor, you can check it out from LG Ultragear, and you can also upgrade your gaming gear with the latest esports offerings from HyperX. Links are in the description. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell icon so you get notifications whenever we are live. Now back to the topic. Viewers, I would like to get your input as well. Do let us know in the chat what you think. Looking at the lineup and the compositions, we're just talking a little bit, very briefly about it. When it comes to Haven, the 2 duelists, 1 controller, 1 sentinel, and 1 initiator setup is indeed the way to go. At least it is for now in the meta. Now, looking at Force One, Scargod, he's crazy on that Omen. Knight Rider will bring back that Jet. So all you Knight Rider fans of Force One, do look forward to that. Shivy, Signature, Sova, and we're gonna have RVK on that Cypher. Let's see if he's gonna be able to hold it down or be an insane lurker for the fact that Force One is beginning on the side of attack. And Rafa, we know Rafa, he was going crazy, popping off on Phoenix. He is a duelist player, and I know Rafa kind of rose to popularity when he went nuts on the map Bind. This is Haven, but hey, Rafa, if he's feeling it, he's gonna give us a show. Now on the side of Team Mahi, aggressive Excali is on that Jet. How do you think it's gonna turn out? I'm really excited.
This is a little bit of a question mark for me, because Excali, we know him for his potential on that race, on that Reyna, but now that he's on this Jet, I do believe that a lot more potential is going to be unlocked, but at the same time, it is going to be much more different to what we see normally from the side of Excali. Because with Jet, you need to be a lot more systematic in the way you approach a lot of your matchups. With Raze, you have that grenade, you have that you have that boombot to set up a lot of your own plays, but with Jet, you're much more reliant on your team. You need to be careful of the engagements that you take. Whenever you dash in, you need to make sure that your team is on the right page and they're able to enter down into the sides together. And a lot of this all comes down to communication. And Excali as a player, he is excellent when it comes to that term as well. Not only does he have the mechanical skill, but he also understands his teammates' flow and his own flow of his own style. So hopefully a lot of these will come down to the coordination plays that are set up by Amaterasu on that Phoenix. But at the same time, now Excali being on that Jet, once again, he needs to be playing a lot more careful. And he needs to understand that, hey, I'm not on that raise, I'm not on that drain, I cannot play those one-off angles as properly, but at the same time, what do you think? Will Excali pick up that operator? Because at the door, he was the dedicated operator previously.
Oh, it's no doubt that Excali is a great duelist. He has this aggression. Now, it is up to Team Mahi to kind of find the momentum, and once they have that, they stick to it. They put their foot down, and it's really difficult to break into their defenses. And as for Force One, it's all about the synergy, it's all about the plans. How are they going to position themselves? Will Rafa be successful in entry fragging along with the help of Knight Rider? Will Skargod be able to do the perfect setup? Chivy, can he get those recon bolts in great places just to spot out those opponents? Now for Force One, we don't quite have an impression on how they are going to play, but the stage is definitely set. And if they can pull a fast one over Team Mahi, that is indeed going to be huge. And now the timer has been unpaused. It looks like we can get straight into the action. Thank you all for being so patient. Remember, this is the LG Ultragear TEC Invitational Season 3, powered by HyperX, and we have Booyah as our broadcast partner. This is going to be round 1, the pistol round, in map 1 of the best of 3 here in the first stage.
Oh, with the pushes coming on down towards this A side, this is gonna be quite interesting because all the members of F1, they're doing an aggressive dash onto the side of Short. They're both sending themselves forward. It's gonna be Knight Rider with the first initial takeoff with his own couple of plays. But Amaterasu, he does have those curveballs. He's trying to get those shots, but he's in no man's land. It's gonna be F1 Skargod being able to take the first initial takeoff down onto Amaterasu. Rafa gets another one onto Hellfighter, taking him out in a matter of seconds. Knight Rider gets another one to Excali, and the bodies are piling on up. But before, what was that headshot? Knight Rider, he's gonna be feeling it. A little bit of technical difficulties coming out from RVK. Before gets another kill, but Rafa's gonna be there to clean it all up. And that was a really fast 0-1 scoreline. It seems as though Team Mahi, they got caught off guard heavily.
Indeed, Team Mahi, they got caught off guard completely. That was a very quick attack, and usually it doesn't quite work out. But in this case, Haven, being a map that is so huge, it took time for the rotations to come in. But unfortunately for the defenders, one by one, every player on Force One, you can see on the minimap, they covered all angles. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. And to end off the first round with 3 left alive, you know, hey, it is a good pistol round to begin with. Vibor was pretty nasty with those 2 shots there. Very excited to show us that, hey, he may have been gone, but he's still keeping up.
That's for sure. And that round was a little bit too quick for comfort for the side of Team Mahi as well. So they do need to be careful because it seems as though Force One, they are a team that are constantly relying on a lot more of these fast execution heavy rushes. But at the same time, they need to understand that, hey, against the side of Team Mahi, they also need to be careful and they always need to adapt their strategies. And I really love the fact that they're able to utilize a lot of the key aspects of this composition. It can be played completely aggressive like as we saw in that pistol run, or it can be played slow and tactically trying to take control of a lot of the other parts of the map. But at the same time, look at what's in the hand of Knight Rider. He has a Phantom in his hand, and this Phantom could either be a death sentence for the side of Force One, or it could be a blessing for them in disguise.
Oh, for sure. Force One, they are determined to push this lead over. Now, approaching very slowly, Rafa attempting to capture the orb does get dinged. But, you know, he's still got a lot to work with. Force One, they might be just setting up for a seaside attack. We do see the rotations coming in. Defenders are gearing up. The dark covers are placed. Hell FF there with the spy cam. Knight Rider manages to find a kill, a headshot onto Vibor, and that is just nuts. Taking out one on the side of Team Mahi. He did have the superior firepower, so that is exactly the opening that they need. Team Mahi are no strangers to pulling off thrifty rounds, so Force One has to tread very lightly.
love the fact that all the members of Force One, they're opting to give a lot of respect towards the side of Team Mahi. Yes, they got the first initial pickup, but they did not want to force down onto that C side. They understood that, hey, we don't have garage control properly, so we need to be stepping our way back. And as this is a bonus round, sorry, a save round coming out from the side of Team Mahi, they're going to be opting to play for a stack, and if we don't have that control, it is going to be a death sentence for us to push down into the C side, even if we have that firepower. Smart plays coming out from them to go in for a rotation down on the side of mid, get the spike plant, and get the last few remaining kills off. And that was a very successful anti-eco round coming out from them as well. Not only did Knight Rider buy that Phantom, he's going to be able to carry that forward into the following round, with Rafa now opting to pick up the Vandal for himself, because you do have to remember, in the last particular round, like, Rafa died out, but it's not going to be a bad thing, because now they're going to be able to swap out the guns, play for the bonus, as well as playing really smartly as well, because with this Phantom and with this Vandal, they have a lot of firepower to go up against the first buy round of the side of Team Mahi.
Indeed, everyone's loaded up with their rifles. Knight Rider, he's gonna be having that Spectre along with RBK and Shivy. Now Rafa coming in onto the east side with the curveballs right to Ace, takes him down unsuspectingly, made it a double for right to Ace. Amaterasu and Vibor, they're gonna pick up a kill of their own, and this is the bounce back that they wanted. Hell FF to clean everything up. Beautiful headshot using that Vandal onto Scar God. Flawless round indeed for the side of Team Mahi. And that is a great way to recover 1 and 2 on the scoreline. And, you know, Team Mahi, they do have a trend of not exactly winning the pistol rounds, at least the first 2 rounds, but the bounce back in round 3 is very apparent. The moment they know what their strength is, they're going to come in guns blazing. And right to Ace just kick off that round with that double kicking by. He is determined here if he can get that spike plant off, a little extra cash in the bank. But the remaining 5 defenders, their Team Mahi, they're ready to close down on him. Knight Rider's gonna get caught off guard, make that a 3K for Amaterasu to end off the round. 2 and 2 on the scoreboard. It is anybody's chance to try and get that edge over the other one.
It was a little bit of a question mark for me in the long run. Like, a little bit of a comical moment, sorry. That whenever Knight Rider was walking on through from the side of A-Long, everyone was walking on through from the side of A-Short. Like, they just crossed each other by a matter of seconds, and Knight Rider getting that plan in the long run is a good thing, because they are going to be able to stabilize their economy just a tiny little bit more when it comes to their own eco round. So it does not have to be a completely successful eco, and they're still going to be able to go in for proper buys in the following round matchup. And with a couple of sheriffs coming online, and Knight Rider actually opting to go in for that Spectre pickup, because he does have a lot of money to work with, because you do have to remember, in that last previous round, he did not have to go in for a full buy because he had the gun from that previous round. But look at Amaterasu, he's slowly making his way up from the side of mid, and this is going to be massive with all of the information being given away. He knows exactly where all the members of the side of Force One are, so he's playing it smart, he's playing it slow, and he's waiting to see if he can get any form of picks or any form of information for his team.
Amaterasu here in mid-court. Yeah, we do hear that ultimate being popped from the shadows, and that is going to be Vibor. Now the full-on attack from Force One as they come down through a long. Amaterasu coming in from the back. He's going to go for that wraparound. And Scargod's looking to secure the plant. Amaterasu, he's going to spot out RVK. But he's waiting patiently. Shivy keeping track of long. Now the spike has been planted. The timer is now against the defenders. Excali's gonna pick up a kill. Amaterasu finds 1. RVK puts him down. It's an equal round for the side of Force One, and down to a 2v4. Hell FM attempting to defuse, and Excali's gonna fire 3K. Last man standing as Rafa picks up 1. The defuse is successful, and Excali to end off the round with a 4K. I would say it was a decent eco round for the side of Force One. They did get the plant off and 2 pickoffs, so hey, not all is lost. It's great to look for a little bit of a silver lining, but Team Mahi, they're gonna get that 1 round advantage over the attackers.
Was such a beautiful play coming out from the side of Team Mahi as well. They understood that, hey, even though this is a save round coming out from the side of the attackers, we should be careful, because we do not want to lose any guns, because you do have to remember, it is the side of Team Mahi now on a 3-round win streak, and if they're able to stabilize their economy even further, they're going to be in a massive advantage in comparison to the side of Force One, because I I always talk about this. Whenever you are losing out your, winning out your round, sorry, with just one member remaining, that is not a round that you can call successful whenever your opponent is on an equal. Because they're the ones that have the weaker guns. You're the ones who have the better guns. And when you're forced to buy those guns over and over again, that's just going to be hurting your economy. You're not really stabilizing yourself to just have that snowball effect moving on forward with your own eco. And Team Mahi, they're playing it smart. They understand that, hey, we do not need to take these fights. We do not need to be over aggressive, and we are going to be the ones to come out on top if we play our cards right. Rafa getting tagged out by that camera. A little bit of a tense moment because he could have gotten killed out, but Vibor is going to be the first one to get that kill down on the Starguard, and the push is going to be coming down onto the B side, but at the same time, they need to be careful because right to ace, he's in no man's land. The flashes are going to be coming out as well. There's nothing for him to survive on, and he's gonna get taken down in a matter of seconds by Shivy. And now already 4 versus 4 on the map, and the A side is now in the control of the side of Force One.
Now it's down to the 4v4 Shivy. He's going to secure that plant onto the A side. As Force One scrambles for the post-plant positions, RPK is going to find a headshot on the Excali. Knight Rider catching them by surprise. Beautiful double kill, and Hell FF is trying to pick up the pieces. He takes out Knight Rider, a little bit of revenge. And that firewall is going to wedge a huge gap in between Hell FF and the remaining attackers. Rafa waiting patiently. A great bit of positioning there with Rafa and Shivy. That round is a wrap. Force One bringing the scoreline back to an even place. Knight Rider coming in massive there in that A tower, just completely catching 2 members on the side of Team Mahi off guard. What a great bit of positioning. Good gameplay coming out from the side of Force One.
Wait, that skin has that sound, wait, that spray, I mean, has that sound of the bell ringing? I did not know that the horn rung whenever you place that spray down. I need to try that out later. But going back to the round itself, you do have to say that they understood it beautifully. Force One, they knew that, hey, we are pushing down from the side of mid, that right to ace is using his ultimate from the side of A lane. So they made the immediate push, got that kill down onto right to ace, and RPK was already clearing down the angles from the side of A short and A long. Basically meaning that, hey, the A side has to be empty. They cannot be holding down deep into the side with right to ace, holding down the side of A lane. And they were able to take full control over there, and Knight Rider, his positioning was just so good, and his timing as well. Understanding that, hey, the players are not already pushing up towards the side of A heaven. They're playing it slowly, they're trying to play it systematically. They have to have their knives out, otherwise they cannot get in position in time. Going in for that swing, Knight Rider was able to get those 2 kills and secure the round for his team. But now this time around, it's going to be Shivy popping the ultimate straight onto the side of Vibor. Not going to be able to get any tags off, but instead it's going to be Knight Rider jumping on in, gets the first initial pick up, but Vibor, with his last dying breath, gets that kill down on the Scarlet. 4 versus 4 on the map already, and sees that control has already been established by the side of Force One.
Shivy, he does it once again, gonna secure that plant. Now Hell FF waiting patiently in garage. And this retake, members of the side on the side of Team Mahi should come in from all different entries, and you can see that Force One is very much prepared. Now RPK is gonna get spotted out. Excali with the operator, he finds the kill. Now with the man disadvantage, Force One just scrambling, and Rafa's gonna take that C-long position. But Shivy and Knight Rider finds 2 kills. It's down to a 2v2, a triple kill for Knight Rider, and Excali's the last man standing. Make this a 1v1, and Rafa has the advantage for Excali. Excali! A beautiful triple kill coming in! We were wondering, did Excali have it in him to play this jet and to show what he is capable of? Coming in clutch there to get that 1 round advantage for his team. That was indeed massive. What a play. That was just crazy aggressive.
This is Excali for you. Doesn't matter if he's on that jet, doesn't matter if he's on that raise, doesn't matter if he's on the arena. He will show up no matter what. But now is where the real question starts to lie. Will Excali be able to pop off in the same nature with the operator? Normally, it was always Antidote on his team who wanted to go in for the op, but now him being the jet player, he is the dedicated operator. So let's see how he uses this gun to its fullest fruition, because this is a massive investment, ladies and gentlemen. You do have to remember, with those 5,000 credits, you need to get at the bare minimum of 2 kills or some form of an impact frag to make it work properly. But coming out from the side of Force One, they're actually opting to go in for a very slow push down from the back end. But look at Amaterasu. Amaterasu's in the prime spot to shut down multiple. If you play it, Starlight, he spots out 3. He gets 1 kill. The communication is just up there. Amaterasu with 2. The shots were a little bit iffy, but he does find 2 in the long run. But at the same time, they get traded out almost immediately. 2 for 2 trades on the map already, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be 3 versus 3. And Vibor, he's holding down from the side of Garage. And Force One, they're scrambling around trying to see which side they want to go on.
Now the neural theft has been dropped from the side of RVK. Rafa's gonna find Vibor and catch him out down to a 3v2. HalFF, he does have the neural theft as well, but he's gonna find the perfect body to activate that. And now Force One on site. Shivy does it again. He has spike duty.
Planted.
He's gonna secure that plant. And now all the members of Force One, they're gonna back away down to C long. HalFF and right to Ace coming through defender side spawn onto the site. They're inching in very slowly. Don't want to make a single sound to set off the attackers. They gotta go for the defuse. There's not much time. 72 HP for HLFF, no armor to work with. Does have the ultimate, but not ideal. And then Recon Ball is gonna spot him out, tapping on that spike once again. Shivy showing himself. Seems like Shivy did get flashed. Not sure what's happening there. And HLFF firing away. That is gonna be right to Ace, cleaning up, picking up 2 kills. But does he have the time for the defuse? No, he does not. 1 second too late, and that is going to be a point for Force One.
That was a little bit sad, I will have to say. But in the long run, it was the side of Force One being able to play that beautifully. And Team Mahi, they did not have the utility for that defuse. Because whenever you have that plan for the side of C long and 3 members are alive, there's no way that you can get that defuse unless you have an operator and unless you have a smoke. Because with that smoke, then you can aggressively go in for that defuse, get that half, and play for the picks instead. But in that scenario, you have to give it to Force One. They understood that, hey, we have the advantage. We can go in for the triple peak with the jiggles, with the shock darts, with the recons. We have everything in our favor. But at the same time, I need to highlight Rafa in that round. Because Rafa, after the neural theft coming on through, he understood that, hey, I don't need to go in for a push. I don't need to give away my information. It is going to be the defenders who give away the information. And before he made a run for it and he got caught off for it as well. But look at Rafa. He pops out the run it back and he is looking for blood. He's hunting for Excali. He's going to be able to find that headshot on him with that classic. Taking him out the running back being able to find a lot of value. He's going to be able to trade out his own buddy. And Knight Rider, he gets another kill down on the Hellfire. And it seems as though Team Mahi, all of the defenses are a little bit more lackluster in this particular matchup.
Now Amaterasu, the last man standing. RPK shows himself. Amaterasu is going to take him out and making the decision to go for the save. I do think that is the better choice here. 1v3, it's going to be very tough for Amaterasu here. He does have a total of 8 kills, and the next round, all of Team Mahi, they will have their ultimates ready. So Amaterasu looking for a possible kill if any of the members on the side of Force One does happen to cross his path. Knight Rider is a little close, and the spike is about to go off. Now, Force One finding the 1-round lead over Team Mahi. It's a very back and forth situation, and it's great to see that both teams seem to be at a very equal skill level. So, you know, this is truly a test. Now, Force One, very pleased. You see the smiles on Scargod's face, just communicating, trying to get everybody on the same page. Moving into the next round, we have a few more until the second half. But Team Mahi, they've got all of their ultimates ready, and I hope it's going to be a very flashy round. On the other hand, Force One, Shivy's got that Hunter's Fury, and Scargod can definitely emerge from the shadows.
Now with the fast push coming on down towards the side, once again, it feels like a repeat of round number 1. And with the pushes coming on down in, it's going to be Excali on the back foot. He needs to back on off. He only just has a blade stone. Maybe he can go in aggressively, but he doesn't have that dash anymore. The Omen ultimate has been used as well to gain some form of information. His left side is not going to get checked out, and it's going to be right to Ace being able to fight 2. Right to Ace doing so beautifully. No one checking down on that corner. It's going to be hurting a lot. It's going to be Amaterasu getting another pick up on the Knight Rider. And it's already going to be 2 versus 2 on the map. Ladies and gentlemen, and that is gonna be the side of Team Mahi need to come on back on this one particular round. But at the same time, 2 members are still alive. It is gonna be Shivy and Scargo trying to hold down the fort, because you do have to remember that the spike is pretty much inside of the side, and all the members of the side of Team Mahi, they understand this, and they are playing it slow, they're playing it systematically. They do not want to give away any form of further advantage, and they do not want to lose any of their members as well, because you do have to remember that this is Spores by coming out from them. They do not have any money to work with. Let's straight through that smoke. Excali, he felt it in his bones. And of course, Cargo's gonna be holding down from that angle. Throws a knife straight in his head, takes him out in a matter of seconds. Amateurasu is gonna be able to get that trade-off for his buddy Excali. That's gonna be 5-5 on the scoreboard, and such a beautiful round coming out from the side of Team Mahi.
I did like what Force One was attempting to do. Shivy trying to get into position. He did dish out that recon bolt, but it wasn't quite enough because Excali slapped a nasty dagger right in the head of Scargod, and it was beautiful to see. Easy cleanup there, and Team Mahi, they're gonna get the point. Now we're in round 11, and it's 5-5 on the scoreboard. I'm at the edge of my seat. At this point, I can't tell which team is stronger. If you're looking at Haven, you know, the attacking side is where we would like to believe is the advantage, but so many teams have showed us time and time again through their fight power that, hey, they can do just as well on the defensive side once they figure out what their opponent is all about. Now, this is going to be Amaterasu pushing C long, going for a more aggressive stance on the side of defense. Rafa here just making his way through. He is with his buddy Shivy, and it looks like Vibor is going to lose his life. Now, a man down, the defenses seem to have been weakened.
Now with the first man advantage going towards the side of the attackers, this is going to be a massive hit for them. But Knight Rider, he's actually going to sneak away from that corner. This is going to be massive. He gets a lot of information down towards the C side as well. He knows for a fact that Excali's holding there, and so is Right to Ace. But Excali, he pushes himself up and puts that bullet straight into the head of Knight Rider, already making things even for his own team. 4 versus 4 on the map. The tripwire has been broken from the side of RBT. But look at Amateurasu. He's in the prime spot to get a couple of his own kills. What's on the head of Shivy? But Shivy's way too quick. He's going to be able to use that paranoia coming out from Scargod to beautiful fruition to get that trade-off for his own teammate. Beautiful plays coming out from both sides. And now, with C-side control already being established, RBK, he's trying to work down onto the side of Garage, and he's gonna go to find the person that'll pick up down onto one, but the trades are just so quick. Right to Ace with the Hunter's Fury. He's not gonna be giving up any room. He's not gonna be giving up any space, but with the dashes coming on through, Scargod, he had a knife, but he was planting. He's not gonna be able to get that kill down onto Excali. That is gonna hurt.
In the half.
Scargod, he's gonna be feeling bad about that, but in the long run, it is gonna be the side of Team Mahi with a beautiful team the Incarnation coming out on top in that engagement, taking us down to a 6-5 and the last round of this.
Oh, a little bit unfortunate there for the side of Scargod, but it was a really good bit of defense there from the side of Team Mahi. Right to Ace using that Hunter's Fury, able to spot out his clone, and Excali dashing in to just clean everything up. We're gonna move on into the last round before the swap. Will Team Mahi get 7 points, or will Force One bring it to an even end? Now the Hunter's Fury this time is gonna be used by Shivy, and Hell FF taking cover in their cyber cage. Amaterasu is gonna find the first kill onto Rafa. RBK pushing the cage, taking out Hell FF, and now drops the Neural Theft. Everyone's position is compromised on this side of defense. Excali just waiting very patiently. Scargod's gonna secure that plant and firing away through the boxes. Seems like Scargod's position has compromised. Amaterasu waiting for the right time to push forward. Right to Ace with the Owl Drone. And he does spot out his Knight Rider. Now the Excali so aggressive. He's just gonna go head on. Now with the Blade Storm, he finds a triple kill. Shivy, he gets a kill with a shotgun. Shivy finds a 3K as well. But right to Ace. Right to Clutch. 1 HP. Right to Clutch.
You failed. Now flee.
And that is going to be a point for Team Mahi. We're going to end off the first half 7-5 in favor of the side of defense. Team Mahi. Oh my goodness, that clutch was insane.
Right to Ace is right to clutch. We always say this, and this is true every single time. When you get a 1 HP clutch like that, you survived a shock dart coming from Shivy. with 1 HP, and then you were able to get the kill onto the man? That is not how this works, right, Tuays? This is not how the game of Valorant is meant to be played. Like,
Right here.
I understand it is a little bit lucky, but that is a lot of skill as well. To understand, to go in for that swing with your teammate, not to line up by accident. Everything done so well from the side of Team I. They understood that, hey, we cannot push down from the side of CT. Basically, we all need to go in for a full send rush from the side of Garage, and they did that beautifully. With that stack, they were able to catch every single person down in a 1 versus 4 situation, and they were able to shut them down beautifully. But I have to give it to Shivy. He tried his best, but in the long run, when you go in for a double peak, sometimes it's not always going to be working out in your favor, especially when you're not able to get that first initial pick off with that shot. Oh.
LFF caught off guard by Knight Rider in that frenzy. Force one on the side of defense. Team Mahi losing one attacker, but they're gonna push forward through mid courtyard. B site is where they have their eyes set on. Now Vibor, he's gonna be right behind his duelist. He does set out that dark cover just to block off that A-Link. Now Excali's gonna pick a kill of his own. Rafa finds one, make that a double for Excali. And RVK is gonna take out right to Ace. Down to a 2v3. Team Mahi not looking too good. 22 HP for Excali. And in comes Vibor. Shivy's gonna fight Excali. Vibor's fighting for his life. And RVK, he's gonna find that headshot. Beautiful burst shot as well. And that is going to be 6 points for the side of Force 1.
That was such a good hold coming out from RVK. Honestly, his Cypher playstyle is just so interesting as well. The way he was able to hold down and set up a lot of his traps is really smart. Those cages, yes, these are one of the best cage setups that you can find for the side of Cypher whenever you're playing down on that C side. But the way he did hold it was really smart as well. He pushed up from the side of Garage, and then he cut off the Garage push, and immediately after he cut off the Garage push, he understood that, hey, I can turn on both of my cyber cages and I can back off into the cages. And no one from the side of Team Mahi, they will want to push me, because if they push me, they're gonna get caught inside of the cages. I'm gonna be the one to take that engagement, because if I rush down inside of the cage, I'll be the one to come out on top instead of the side of Team Mahi, and them being able to win out on this one particular round is gonna be massive for them. Moving on forward, it's gonna be Scargod going in for that spam onto the side of the Garage window, trying to find something, not being able to find much. And Team Mahi understanding this, they're gonna be opting to go in for a rotation play, probably going down over to this A side, but it seems as though they're a little bit lost. They don't know where exactly to head just yet.
1 minute left on the timer. Team Mahi, they're gonna be pushing themselves down A long. And we do see the duck covers being set up by Vibor. Shivy senses something isn't right. Has the recon ball very much ready, but he's just gonna wait a little bit more. Patience is everything. Now Amaterasu, he does have a curveball to work with. Eco round for the side of Team Mahi, but they're still going to go on with the attack. Shivy and Knight Rider finding a kill for themselves. It's going to be a 3v5, and the spike has been planted. Amaterasu waiting very patiently right around the corner, but the wraparound is very much present from the side of RVK. Nope, he's not going to do it. Knight Rider is going to come in, take out Amaterasu, right to Ace falls, and the last man standing, Vibor, gets taken out. Not exactly the best round for the side of Team Mahi. They didn't have the firepower, but hey, they did get the spike planted. And this is the perfect chance. Force One coming into the second half, taking the first 2 rounds and putting themselves even on the scoreline is very much what they needed. This is only map number 1, but the competition is crazy. Everything is so intense. Both teams are neck and neck. It is hard to tell which team has the edge over the other. Now, if we're looking at Team Mahi, Excali has a total of 16 kills. Amaterasu with 12 and Right to Ace with 11. And on the side of Force One, Knight Rider with 15, Shivy with 12, and Rafa with 11.
This is such a beautiful play coming out from the side of Force One. The way that they're taking a lot of these engagements down on this defensive side is just so clean. But with the rapid dash push coming up from the side of Knight Rider, he's able to do so much damage onto the side of Vibor, but he's going to be taking a lot of damage himself. So they need to be careful of how they take a lot of their forward matchups. But with Vibor being so low, a lot of these aggressive pushes that could be coming out from the side of Team Mahi is going to be detrimental, but Excali, he was a little bit too aggressive on his own accord. Pretty much in no man's land now, it's going to be RVK being able to shut him down and punish him for his aggression. With one member already going down for the side of the attackers, and that being your Jet, such an important pickup as well for your side. and with your Omen also being that low, you don't really have a lot of options to work with. You need to go in for a rush down onto the side of A, or go in for a sneaky climb onto the side of B. But look at the positioning coming up from the side of Hellfighter. Hellfighter could be the deciding factor for all of these matchups, but I don't think RBK, he's going to be giving anything away towards the side of the attack.
Now Vibor, he has set foot on site, but RBK is right there. He's gonna be...
Oh my god!
Finds a beautiful double, and this could potentially save the team. Now right to Ace, finding a headshot onto Shivy. It's down to 2 defenders, force 1. They've got to try and bring this back, but Vibor with that massive play and right to Ace just to follow up on that. The spike has been planted, post-plant positions are in effect. The Knight Rider's gonna spawn out right to a 61 HP, 1 Cloudburst to work with. Meanwhile, Rafa coming in from long, he's gonna spawn out the board. In comes the curveball, and Vibor fights his 3rd victim. What a round! Knight Rider, last man standing, and it seems like he's gonna back away and go for the save. Take that Vandal over into the next round. But what was that? That came in so unexpected. And little plays like that, a little double kill, just playing out of patience and peeking at the perfect time, that can equate to a round win. And at this point, where the scoreline is so close, you gotta give props to Vibor there.
None here.
That's for sure. Vibor, what? Like, this guy has so much composure and nerves of steel. Even on 18 HP, he is the first one to walk into sight. Oppo, he's the first one with 18 HP. This guy is an absolute madman. Not only does he walk into sight, he gets 2 kills, and he actually gets his 3rd onto Rafa, even though he was spotted out initially. Absolutely insane aim from this guy, and very good game sense and timing. But at the same time, I would have liked to see Knight Rider not opt to go in for that save, because you do have to remember, because he went in for that save, that is going to be a massive detriment towards the side of Force 1, because now he's not going to be able to pick up that operator, because you do have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, because of them losing out on that run, he would have had enough money to buy an operator and a shield for himself for the next round, and that operator would have been a massive hit for them. But now look at RDK. RDK is in the prime zone to get a couple of his own kills. He does find one, but gets traded on immediately. The rush just a little bit too strong on this C side. But already 3 versus 3 on the map, and with the spike going on down from the side of Team Mai onto the side of C, it is going to be a post-plant situation for their side and a retake scenario for the side of Force 1.
Cover going out.
Now the spike is ticking. The defenders are trying to come in. Vibor, he's watching the back lines. Excali, meanwhile, is going to pick up Knight Rider with a beautiful headshot. Vibor turns around at the worst time possible. Shivy's going to pick up a kill. Excali takes out Rafa. And now Shivy is the last man standing. Now tossing out that recon bolt right to Ace. It's going to spot him out with his owl drone. And Shivy gets tagged by the shock dart. What a pressurizing situation. He probably could have gone for the defuse, and Excali's going to wrap this round up with a beautiful 4K to end everything off. Make that 2 rounds in the lead for Team Mahi.
Once again, I'm imagining the situation where Knight Rider had died in that previous round, and on this round they would have been able to pick up that operator. Every single one of the members of the side of Force 1, they would have been able to go in for their own buys, so that save was a massive hit when it came to their own strategy, because Knight Rider on that operator, it's something that we expected to come out a lot earlier, but it's not coming out this late into the game stage as well when they're on their own defensive side. It's going to be hurting them quite a lot moving on forward. But now with another eco round coming on through from the side of Force 1, it's all about doing some form of damage towards the side of Team Mahi, because now you're basically giving away double digits towards the side of your opponents if you are not able to win out on this. So they need to get as much value out of this round as possible. Otherwise, it could be all but over for them, because Team Mahi, they are extremely happy with the economies they have right now.
Five v 5 here, and Hell FF waiting very patiently at mid doors. The attack this time is going to take a slower pace. Now Knight Rider down to 3 HP. He has the Blade Storm out. It's ready. And we do see the setup coming from Vibor there with the dark covers coming out. Excali with the cloud bursts. And he purchases himself right on top. The double crates. He finds 1 kill. It's going to be a second. He's praying for his life. He picks up 2. And it's a massive turn of events. Now Raph and RVK are the last man standing. RBK is gonna go down, and Rafa finds a kill before he sees the grave as well. Double digits on the board for Team Mahi, and what an attack. You know, when you see players able to get a quick double kill at this level of competition where everyone is so skilled, everything is down to the line, just a simple double kill can set everything apart, and we just saw Xcali pull that off, so that was really amazing in itself. But 3 rounds in the lead, it seems like once the side swap happened, Team Mahi, they look so comfortable on the side of attack, ready to show us how they're gonna set up their plans, how they're gonna go about their attack, and it's really up to Force 1 to kind of figure out what they're doing. Now, right to Ace, he's gonna initiate the attack with the Hunter's Fury, does get a couple of tags, and Xcali, he has placed himself on site, spots out Scar God, but RVK takes him out. 1 attacker down, 4 more to go.
Now that's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade, but we're getting another run of this. Oh, the body comes down, finally going off. It's gonna be RBK with a second, taking us down to a 3 versus 3 situation already. Sorry, I did not say 3 versus 3. It's a 3 versus 2 because Hellfighter, he was mad and he's gonna be ready to get his own kill. But Knight Rider, he does have that operator in his hand, but a little bit too late, my man. That is gonna be hurting quite a lot. The spike now going on down onto the B side. There's gonna be Knight Rider trying to make his way down with that operator in his hand to see what he can find of his own. Maybe get a couple of picks. But in the long run, I do believe that it would be the smarter option to go in for that save this time for both of the sides. If you want to go in for that try, you're basically giving away the 11th round, and you're not gonna have buys to fight for that overtime round yourself. That's gonna be detrimental. Knight Rider opting to go in for that save. He does pay that price. And look at Shibby. Shibby's gonna be able to get that shock dart kill, but down in this 1 versus 2 situation, so much information being given away. The peaks are being taken on the left, peaks are being taken on the right. They have the perfect crossfire. Shibby doesn't know where to look, Shibby doesn't know where to turn, and it's gonna be about Arasu being able to get that final headshot on the Shibby, taking it out. 11-7 on the scoreboard. And now from the side of Force 1, they don't have the proper economy to go in for full proper buys.
Oh, that is definitely gonna hurt Force 1 indeed. Now, Hell FF here, he did manage to get that pick off, and Shivy with the shock darts, you see them coming, and taps onto that spike, but unfortunately, this 1v2 situation was just really difficult there. And now we're gonna move into the next round. 11-7. It seems like Team Mahi is trying to run away with the competition. I mean, this is map 1, but securing a map is very important, and Amaterasu here, he's gonna whip out the curveball. Makes himself known. Not a single defender to be spotted yet because Force 1, they're playing a little bit more defensive. Now Rafa, he's gonna fall to Hell FF. Knight Rider gets a return kill. The combo spots out Amaterasu, and meanwhile Xcali finds a kill onto Scar God. Shivy picks up one of it, but RVK is gonna put Amaterasu in the grave. 2v3. The neural theft is available for RVK. He could use this. Try to help his team out a little bit more, but hey, you know, outnumbering the attackers could just do it itself. But there it is, the neural theft. It has been dropped, and the positions of Right to Ace and Xcali has been compromised. Right to Ace retrieves the spike. He has a bunch of abilities to work with. He doesn't want to use it, and it seems like there is a very sneaky little Knight Rider there in the corner. Xcali does find a kill of his own. RVK is gonna pick him up, and Knight Rider cleans it up. Make this 8 points for the side of Force 1. They're gonna keep fighting, and you know, they're not gonna give Team Mahi an easy time here.
This is so crucial coming out from the side of Force 1 as well, because you have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, that on an 11-8 scoreline, you cannot give overtime away towards the side of your opponents. This is why this round is much more crucial than the 12th round itself, because here on this is where you stand your ground. This is where you need to take the fight against your opponents. Doesn't matter which scoreline on you're on. Even if it's an 11-0, you need to take that fight then and there, and you cannot lose out on any more of your consecutive rounds, because not only are you giving away match point, you're also hampering your own team morale, because one mistake and it's gonna be all but over for you. But now with the spam coming on through just a tiny little bit too late, coming out from him. That's going to be a massive hit towards the side of Amaterasu, but with the body being covered, they're still going to be happy. They're still going to be smart about all of the ways that they're going to be wanting to execute down in the side. But look at the positioning coming out from the side of Amaterasu. What was that play? He's going to be able to take all of the contact away, and it's going to be excited being able to get the first initial takeoff with right to he's getting another of his own already. 5 versus 3 on the map with the spike going on down onto this B side. So much control all over the map for the side of Team Mahi. So they're looking smart, they're looking pretty, and this retake situation is going to be really difficult for the side of F-Force 1.
Last player standing.
And Rafa's gonna pick up that kill on the right to Ace, but it's a 1v3 situation. Team Mahi, they want to get that match point so desperately. Rafa is dodging the shot. It's gonna pull out the gun, but whipping out that knife. Vibor was watching him right around the corner, and that is gonna be match point set for Team Mahi. Now hanging by a rope is Force 1. This map 1 looks like it's gonna fall into the hands of the attack. Team Mahi showing up the moment the side swap happens. So this, in effect, really shows that Team Mahi really held their own on the side of defense. And coming now on attack, they're really asserting their dominance. But there it is, the replay. Great kill by Rafa, but Vibor, he's got his eye on you. From the shadows, he will emerge. He'll take you out. Now back into the action. Force 1. They need a 4-round consecutive win to take it to overtime. I never say it's impossible. It definitely can happen. And now the spike has been picked up by right to Ace. Excali just looking for the team. Scargard firing shots through the garage doors, hoping to get a little bit of damage off onto his opponents. Now Knight Rider pulling it back onto the A site. We do see the setup for C instead. So the rotations are coming in. They've got to be quick on their feet because Team Mahi, they can be very fast to execute their plans. RVK, he has arrived to the party, and right to Ace will secure this plant. Now Scargard here, he's going to be in garage. It's a 5v5. No one has gone down yet. Now we do see Excali ready with the Blade Storm, Rafa, and Scargard. They do have their ultimates as well. Scargard, he's not going to emerge from the shadows. Instead, he's going to walk up to Excali, pick up a kill. But he goes down, make that 4 instant kills, and Vibor's going to wrap that up for Team Mahi. 13-8 is the scoreline, and map number 1 goes over to Team Mahi. What a game. And I will say that the first half was so close, but the moment we went into the second half, there was a little bit more of a clearer distinction on, you know, who can play the attack a little bit better than the other team. But here on the instant replay, you know, the spike has been planted. It was still a 5v5. So, you know, when there are that many players left alive, it's still going to get very hectic. It's going to be very messy. The kills happen so quick in a second. And Team Mahi was just a lot more coordinated this time. So looking at the scoreboard here, Excali's going to have 26 kills. It seems like that jet pickup was perfect for him. Now we're going to move into the LG Ultragear match highlights, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about what went down in map 1 here in this best of 3. It's stage 1, guys. And, you know, in this best of 3, the winning team will move on to the next stage. In the upper bracket, the losing team will go down to the lower bracket. So don't worry, if your team that you love doesn't make it through today, you still will have a chance to see them. Now, back with the action, I'm going to talk a little bit more about Force 1 first. I do like this roster. You could see the synergy between Knight Rider and Shivi very clearly here. And I do believe that it is due to the history that they've had, how often they play with each other. Scargard definitely struggled here. It wasn't really a good time for him. It could be the map, it could be him just feeling off form. Hey, it happens. Players are only human, so you know, Scargard, hopefully he does pick up in map number 2. And looking at Force 1, I would say that their foundation is really strong. It's just a matter of time until this roster really packs in together. They kind of strengthen their bond and really show us what their true potential is. And as for Team Mahi, they definitely held their own in the first half, and coming into the second, they showed us the clear distinction in the strength of synergy. Force 1 was very well, Team Mahi was very well coordinated in their attacks. If they wanted to play it fast, everyone was on the same page. If they wanted to play it slow, they knew what each other was thinking. Now, Aggressive, what are your afterthoughts?
I honestly do believe that Force One, they had a really rough time, primarily because a lot of their strategies really came down to rushes. It was not the pick place playstyle that the side of Team Mahi were playing, and this just goes to show that it all comes down to experience. Like, as you just stated, when it comes to the raw mechanics of the team of the side of Force One, they have everything. They understand what they do or need to do at a fundamental level. The fundamentals are good, but you also need to be very advanced to go up against such high caliber teams of the likes of Team Mahi. And they just played a lot of their angles better. They were able to coordinate a little bit more better as a team when it came to their own defensive half. And remember what I was saying previously before the map even begun? A lot of the pace of this entire matchup will be dictated on the attacking half. If you as the team are not able to find a good solid lead onto your own attacking half, you're not gonna have a good time on your defensive side. And Team Mahi, they showcased that as well. They had a pretty rough time onto the side of defense. Yes, they were able to come out on top, but a lot of the rounds came down to the fact that, hey, some players had amazing individual performances. And it was the side of Team Mahi having that larger strat book, understanding how to play together as a team, understanding what angles to take, what fights to go for, and having that information-based playstyle really worked out in their favor. But in the long run, I do believe that Force One, they have the potency and the potential to be top tier teams, but they need to work on it just a little bit more to come out on top into their own engagements, and hopefully they are able to come on back even stronger in the following matchup, because map number 2 is going to be just as spicy as map number 1. I really do believe
Yeah. For sure. You could see, glimpses of Force One really keeping up with Team Mahi. I mean, they gave them a tough time in the first half. And, when it comes to different maps, different teams are going to perform. The first map, Haven, was picked by Force One. So there is going to be Ascent coming up next. And that was picked by Team Mahi. And I'm very excited to see how that is going to turn out. So congratulations once again to Team Mahi for taking map 1. But the fight is not over in this best of 3. You guys are watching the LG Ultragear TEC Invitational Season 3, powered by HyperX, and we have Booyah as our broadcast partner. Now remember, if you want to play with, like the pros with 144Hz, 1MS gaming monitors, you can check them out from LG Ultragear, and you can also upgrade your gaming gear with the latest esports offerings from HyperX. Links are in the description. Treat yourself because you're worth it. You know that drill. And without further ado, we're going to prepare for map number 2. So do stay tuned. We'll be back very shortly with map 2 between Team Mahi and Force 1. Stick around.
Medusa, Epassos, Ashalalala, sisters. Me never a kabubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Ventus, Hera, Messi, Carlos. Na ha ha ha, na ha ha ha. Tusa, 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 tusa. Never a kabubus. I love that.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Invitational Season 3, powered by HyperX, and we have Booyah as our broadcast partner. We're ready with map number 2 in this first stage between Force 1 and Team Mahi. Now, we had a very explosive map number 1. It was a great fight. It begun very close between both teams, but then Team Mahi eventually took the win. 13-8 on Haven. Now let's head into the map veto screen. Aggressive. How do you think map 2 might turn out here?
And now this is the home map of Team Mahi because they're the ones who picked it up. And now, as we're going into Ascent, it's going to be a little bit of a question mark for me because Team Mahi, we know for a fact that they should be playing the exact same composition that they had previously on map number 1, being that Phoenix, being that Jet. But for the side of Force 1, it's my hands are up in the air because any composition could be coming on through. But knowing the team's caliber and the way they like to play from map number 1, they should also be opting to go in for the same similar composition. So let's just see. On the map of Ascent, this is now the do or die situation for the side of Force 1. And yes, going on to the Agent Select screen, both of the teams have the exact same comp going on through. And that's pretty much it. It's basically going to be a repeat of map number 1 when it comes to team-based compositions. But here's where the playstyle a lot is going to be changing because Ascent is a map we know is all about that mid control. And whenever you're playing this one certain composition, mid control is more important than ever. You need to have mid control, otherwise it's all but over for you because rotations are nearly impossible if you don't play your cards.
Indeed, and map number 1, which was Haven, was picked by Force 1. And now Ascent map 2, this was picked by Team Mahi. So, if anything, Team Mahi, they should feel a little bit more comfortable here. But hey, we saw glimpses of true skill and power coming out from the side of Force 1. So, Team Mahi, they could be caught off guard anytime. I don't think that either team should underestimate each other solely for the fact that we have seen all 10 players at their peak. When they pop off, they pop way off. We have so many highlights of them going crazy, showing us their skill, the multi-kills and whatnot. And another thing that I would like to point out, at least between both these teams, double kills are so important. In map 1, we saw rounds that were very close. Rounds were not outright losses. They were all down to the wire. So trying to keep as many of your teammates alive as possible is also going to come in very crucial because your economy comes into play and whatnot. But hey, now it's going to be map 2. We're beginning the first round here in the first half. It's going to be the pistol round. I'm not going to say that Team Mahi's not going to take this one because, they haven't had the best track record with pistol rounds. But hey, let's see if they're going to show us that they have it in them to win it as well as they begin on the attacking side.
Now with the pushes coming on down from the side of Hellfighter, I love his positioning. Look how far he has pushed up already from the side of mid. He has the perfect flank to work with as well. With the aggressive dash coming on down towards the A side. With side controls finally being established, it's really smart from all the members of the side of Team Mahi, opting to reposition themselves beautifully. Hellfighter's gonna be able to get 1 kill of his own before he does get treated on out. It's Scally, his position has been revealed as well because of the Molotov coming on through. A little bit of stun has been given away, but with the pushes coming on down from the back end, Jimmy's actually gonna be able to survive and live till the tail for another day, but at the same time, right away, he's not having any of it. Beautiful headshot coming down from him, straight over the head of that. 171, it's gonna be 2, but Scarlet and Knight Rider, they're gonna be able to shut down multiple. Water also does have that 1 flash, but he needs to get this kill almost immediately. He's not gonna be able to find it. Knight Rider instead is gonna be the one to kick him on out, and Apo, it felt as though they pushed a little bit too aggressive and they paid the price for it.
Indeed, Knight Rider coming in there, just saving the round for his team. It was a 2v1 situation, but that can go south anytime. They weren't exactly healthy. They didn't really have the health to work with. Amaterasu did the best that he could, and we see Scargot there just jumping. Knight Rider with that frenzy, beautiful headshot, and that is going to be the first point over to Force 1. So great start for them. We see them pushing their lead. The investments in the Spectres. Phantom for Knight Rider takes him out, and that is going to be huge. But Scargod able to get the return kill, they could retrieve that Phantom. Now it's down to the 4v4. Right to Ace, only one with the Sheriff.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
What is that spray? The 3K coming out from Rafa. He's gonna swap out his gun, and now he's coming in. Vibor's cornered right there in the courtyard. Skargar cleans it up, but that was a nasty spray. That spray happened in less than a second.
These two Phoenixes are absolute madman. Like, one by one, the bodies just kept on dropping, and honestly, that first initial headshot, I was amazed. And then the lineup spray coming out from the side of Rafa, just so clean. These two teams are at each other's necks, but honestly, this is a repeat of what happened in map number 1. And this could happen in map number 2 again, where the side of Team Mahi, they understand what they need to do to go up against the compositional basis of the side of Force 1, because you do have to remember, this is the exact same composition, just a different map, just a couple of different strats, and hopefully Team Mahi, they are able to understand it and come back on top on this engagement, because now on their first fire out, they need to set the pace and they need to stop the momentum coming out from the side of Force 1, otherwise it could be all but over for them.
Now we do see Shivy utilizing that owl drone. Right up, pushing up, trying to pick up that kill on Amaterasu. And surviving with a tick of health. Amaterasu healing back with that hot hand, still has to run it back. And the curveballs to play around with. So I would say he's pretty good there on that front. So taking out that one defender, Force 1. The defense is weakened. Shivy pulling it back, 28 HP for him to work with. And Excali's gonna come and take out RVK with a beautiful headshot on that Vandal. And he pushes onto the A site, awaiting for his team to come in with the rotations. Meanwhile, Skargard, he's keeping watch on A short. And we should see the plant go down in the next 10 seconds.
Oh no!
Boar finds the headshot to wrap up and I mean, if he's gonna push and pick up kills like that, why not? But that's gonna be the first point for Team Mahi. They've got the firepower now, and they take a point for themselves. So very reminiscent start, like you mentioned, of map 1 on how the first couple of rounds are going.
For sure, and when it comes to the compositional basis for the side of Force 1, I understand what they were trying to do, but in the long run, Rafa, when you go in for a push like that, you have that flash, you have that thing to make things a little bit more easier on yourself. Not opting to use it is not going to be a good idea, especially against Vibor. This guy is absolutely fearless. We can see what he can do. Just let him dictate the pace of a lot of these fights, but this time around, Knight Rider, he's going to be the one to take his own revenge, get that kill down on the Amaru. Beautiful shots coming out from him, and now without any form of flash, Team Mahi, they are on the back foot. But with this push coming on down from the side of Excali, straight onto this A side, this is going to be dangerous! Excali is going to be able to find a second one with Hellfire getting one of his own self. RVK is going to be able to get that trade. It's already 3 versus 3 on the map. Make it a 3 versus 2, sorry, just as I say it. Right here, he gets another one. Rafa's hunting them down. Excali gets one onto his own twin sister. Shivy on his lonesome to try and clutch out this round, but this is long gone. Down in this 1 versus 3, Shivy has no information, and he's pretty much in no man's land. He has no way of getting down through that A side, clear out all the angles, and get that spike defused. So I do believe Shivy, the better option would be to go in for a save and save this gun for a rainy day.
Shivy here with that beautiful skin. You have to love the Oni Phantom skin right there. But he is going to go for that save. The spike is about to go boom. We do see members of Team Mahi scrambling away. They got to get into safe positions. Don't want to get caught by that spike. And Shivy hiding here in the corner. So, you know, Team Mahi able to get this round for themselves, bring it even on the scoreline. And it is a very good start, I would say, for both teams. It might be a little bit of a back and forth situation. Now, the only difference is that we're looking at Ascent. We talk about the chances of teams performing on a particular side. And unlike Haven, Ascent, I do feel is a little bit more defense favored, with the exception of some teams with beautiful synergy, beautiful knowledge of the map, pulling off flawless attacks. And here we can see Team Mahi, they're very comfortable on the side of attack, but really Force 1, they should look to rake up as many rounds as possible, knowing that it could go either way in both halves, given that both these teams are very close in skill level.
Joke's over!
Oh, Excali.
The Excali's just way too quick. Just as you were saying it, Excali's gonna be able to shut down the first initial player. Beautiful shots coming out from him. Matarasu with one. Hellfighter with another. Matarasu spots out the head of Shibby as well. So this is gonna be all but dangerous for him. Scargo tries to go in for the shot, but he's not gonna be able to find it. Instead, it's gonna be Hellfighter to shut him down with his own gun. Hellfighter with another one. Bullet straight to the head of Shibby. Instant headshot and a flawless round for the side of Team Mahi. Beautiful plays coming out from them to take full control over the entire map before they go in for any sort of push. It's just what Team Mahi does best. But honestly speaking, I'm loving what the side of Team Mahi are doing. They are constantly taking aggressive mid control. Let it be with the run it back, forcing themselves towards the side of mid, through the door immediately as they are closing it to establish that little bit of mid control to get that surprise element onto the side of the defenders, thinking that, hey, they're closing the door basically meaning that we can go safely onto the side of market. But no. One member is already pushing on straight through that door as it's closing to get that advantage for themselves as they are going in for the spike plant on that B side. Beautiful plays coming out from them to take us down to a 2-3, but now is going to be where the real crunch time begins for the side of Force One, because with that operator coming on down for the side of Knight Rider, it's either go big or go home, because this operator is going to be a massive investment on their side.
Right here.
Indeed, you know, that
Right here.
operator, so expensive, 5,000 credits. And it's kind of painful when you see teams, they lose that operator, very unfortunate circumstance, but you can feel the pain there. But 2-3, Team Mahi, great pickup there. We do see Excali with 5 kills, as well as HalFF and Amaterasu. So, you know, we should keep our eye on the 3 of them. And, you know, looking at Vibor now, coming in with Team Mahi, playing with them, I do feel that he is fitting very nicely. You know, not all is lost. He still is a very good component to the team. And on the side of Force One, Scargod and Rafa, they're ready to rumble. And I think that Rafa might just pop off here on Ascent. Because if anything, Rafa has left an imprint in my mind on Ascent and Bind.
Rafa as a player, he's just so dangerous when you allow him to gain the momentum, but at the same time, look at the positioning coming out from all the members of the side of Team Mahi. They're making their way up slowly but surely with RBK. He's in the prime spot to get a couple of his own kills, but mid control has already been established, and with a rapid push coming on down from the side of Market, they're going to be able to take free side control. The smokes are going to be going on out. The Molotovs as well. The flashes are present. All of the side is now in the hands of the side of Team Mahi, but at the same time, really smart coming out from the side of Force One to understand that, hey, we should be giving up side control. Maybe we can get a little bit of information on our own accord, but we cannot die in the process. We want to go in for a retake situation. But such a beautiful headshot! Excali with such wonderful one-ways. He's not going to be able to fight only to run it back forward, but gets another kill down onto another. But Arasu, he's had enough of this. He wants to get a couple of kills on his own, put this straight on up, gets a double kill for himself on the back end. Right to ace, finds a good, well-placed headshot on the Scargot, taking him out almost instantly. And Knight Rider on his lonesome, he has nowhere to go. He tried to break that door with his plastic, but it does not break in time, and his teammates just drop like flies one by one. Now opting to go in for that save. A really smart play coming out from him. Maybe get this kill on right to ace, shutting him down. Do a little bit of damage when it comes to the terms of the eco, but this round win was so crucial for the side of Force One, because now they're on the back foot. They don't really have a lot of economy to work with, and Knight Rider, he's on his lonesome pretty much with this operator.
Very clean shot by Knight Rider there, but that is a point for the side of Team Mahi. And this is what's really cool about the attacking side. You know, in post-plant positions, especially on the B side of Ascent, most players kind of back away into the boathouse, but for Team Mahi, they went aggressive. They went head-on for the challenges, and now if that went sideways, it would have been over for them, but they were so confident in closing down Force One. Now we're going to move into the next round. 2 rounds in the lead. That's going to be Team Mahi, and full buys across the board for every single player. Force One has to take this round for themselves, or the economy is going to suffer just a little bit there. 4 ultimates are also ready on the side of Team Mahi, so that is indeed going to be dangerous.
This round is going to be a little bit of a hard one for their side, but Knight Rider, he's going to be able to get a beautiful kill down on Amaterasu, and he's trying to make his way up. this aggression coming out from Knight Rider is something that we oh so dearly miss. It's been a while since we last seen him on that jet, and he does not fail to impress when he has that operator in his hand. Beautiful plays coming out from him, but at the same time, we get the positioning from all the members of the side of Team Mahi. The ultimates are going to be coming on through. A lot of usages are going to be coming on out. It's going to be Excali with the first initial takeoff on the Scarlet. The spams are going to be going on through RBK. He's going to be the one to take another shot to the body to die on out, but Knight Rider is going to be present. He gets the shot on him before taking him out, but beautiful shots coming out from the side of Excali. He's fun, but he's fighting off a bit more than he can chew. He pays the price for it, but still it's 2 versus 2 on the map. And honestly speaking, Knight Rider, he's extremely low. He's not going to be able to survive. It's going to be Hellfighter being able to find his own beautiful shot straight onto his body, taking him out. And Chivy, he's on his own, so he needs to try and get this fight defused. But with that ultimate present from the side of the Sova, a lot of the potential already being there. The ultimate has been popped. He has nowhere to run. He has nowhere to go. Shibby, he's trying to survive, but this is all but over. They know exactly where he is. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's see who's going to be able to come out on top. Will Shibby be able to get 1 kill before he runs off?
Enemy remaining.
And that spike is gonna go boom. 2 Sovas left alive. But the point is gonna go over to the side of Team Mahi. 3 rounds in the lead, taking this attack by storm. Mahi coming into map 2, definitely looking a little bit more polished. Also a little bit more clean here also when it comes to attacking. It is not easy to pull it off here on Ascent, but right there you see Excali being able to take an RVK. Knight Rider with that op can be so dangerous, and Excali picking up that 3k. Beautifully done. Multi-kills are just so important at this stage. And that brings Excali with a total of 9 kills, fitting that jet position very, very well. We're not going to see Excali with the operator this time. I don't think he's going to be on that rifle. But I'm not going to lie, when Excali does have the op, I'm pretty excited to see what he is going to do with it. Because we're so used to seeing Antidote. And now that there's no Antidote, Excali's filling those boots. It's kind of great to see if he has that capability to kind of do it. But hey, I'm not complaining about the rifles. He's giving us a good time with it as well. And on the other hand, Force 1, they're going to be forced into a half buy. So, you know, it's going to be more about the kills for them. And if they're going to be able to, you know, decrease the number of surviving attackers into the next round.
Force 1 forced onto an eco round. Did you intend the pod, yes or no? Did you intend it to be a pun, yes or no? Force 1 forced onto an eco round. Did you intend it as a pun, yes or no? Is the real question at this point. But going on back to the matchup. Now, we are talking about this map in particular, but let's look at the grand scheme of things. The main thing I want to see coming out from Team Mahi is actually split. Because that is when it's going to be really interesting to see what these teams are going to be picking on up. But we can talk a little bit more about that as we move on forward a tiny little bit more. But because as the round is going to be starting on out, every single member from the side of Team Mahi are going to be opting to go in for a push onto the side of mid. So let's see what exactly they're trying to do. They're trying to establish aggressive control as fast as they possibly can, but none of the members are opting to go in for that push. Chevy, those shock darts are absolutely beautiful. Being able to hit those shots perfectly, but at the same time, no one is watching from the side of A Shore. This basically means every single member of the side of Team Mahi, they're making their way up. No noise is being made, but Shimmy does get spotted on out. Excali, he's gonna be going in for a massive wide swing of his own, but the shot's not gonna be connecting. Shimmy's gonna be able to get the first initial kill. Shimmy with the double, Shimmy put and beautifully. Knight Rider gets another kill down on the right to Ace, and already the bodies have piled on up. And it is the side of Force 1 on this eco round, being able to close this one out properly if they play their cards right. But look at Hellfighter, his positioning as prime. He actually found the head of RVK as well, so a lot of information has been given away. Bibor, he knows for a fact where RVK is going to be holding. He's going to be the one to push on up. And with his teammates holding down from every single one of the sidelines, look at the positioning coming out from the side of Hellfighter. Hellfighter could just be able to get this kill. He's going to be able to find it onto RVK as well, shutting him down. Takes off his hat and says, "Good day to you, sir," revealing all of the position of the last remaining members of the side of the defense. And already 3 versus 2 on the map. Who's going to be able to come out on top? Will it be the side of Bevor and Hellfighter, or is it going to be the side of F1 being able to take it all away from there?
Force 1, they have the man advantage. Now Vibor's gonna whip out that paranoia ready to set that in stone. We do see Hell FF, he is gonna take the more aggressive position.
Oh, no.
70 HP, he's gonna go down tonight, right? And Rafa takes out Vibor. Simultaneous kills there from Force 1. Great retake, and they're going to secure a point for themselves. They're trying to close that gap on the score line, but a very good round indeed. 3 left alive. They're going to take their guns over, saving their economy in the process. What a round by Force 1.
I have to give it to them that they played that whole so beautifully. And honestly, Shivi, he's the man of the round for that one particular matchup. Him getting that double kill, stopping that aggressive push to go on down onto the side of Heaven. No Heaven control basically means that right to Ace is pushing on down from the side of Ace. Sure, no one is going to be worried about Heaven. Heaven is absolutely clear, and Right to Ace needs to check Heaven himself. But with that positioning coming on down from the side of Knight Rider and Skargon being the one to make first contact, and then Knight Rider immediately going in for that, so it basically meant that it was all but over. Down in that 2 versus 3, there's no way that they can lose if they play their cards properly. And the side of the defenders, they did that beautifully. And now already as a round just started on off, it's going to be Right Rider getting the first initial pick up on the Right to Ace as well. This is going to be a massive dent towards the side of the attackers because now they have no information and they need to go into the sites a lot more drier than ever.
Indeed, the attackers moving down a lobby, looking at the Ace site, but we see the map is sprawled with defenders. They're keeping themselves spread out in case of any kind of audio cues that they're going to get. They gotta react as quick as possible. A bit of anticipation there from Force 1. 3 defenders much closer to the Ace site. They have picked the right space. Now Excali, he might just be the entry fragger here, but he's gotta play it smart. In comes the curve ball from Amaterasu. Great usage of an ability to help out his teammate. Now Skargon realizes something is up. Hell FF is gonna get a kill and Skargon gets a return. It's down to a 4v3. Team Mahi clearly outnumbered. The spike has been safely planted. Now Excali up onto rafters. He's looking for the push. Shivy does tag him. Excali realizing that it's not safe. He's just gonna sit right up there. It could backfire or it could be a really good bit of positioning. Now Amaterasu's gonna find a kill. Night Rider and RVK, they're holding it down. Amaterasu's the last man.
Oh no!
And a double kill for RVK. Don't disregard him. We haven't seen him a lot, but he's definitely leaving a mark here in the competition. Beautiful double there just to help his team out, clear out the attackers, a safe defuse, closing the gap step by step. That's going to be Force 1. They know they need Map 2 very desperately to stay in this running, and back down they will not.
This is so crucial for rounds as well for the side of Force 1 because you do have to remember that a fire needs to be lit under them, otherwise this could be all but over for them. It's either go big or go home. Unless you're able to win this map out, you're going to be forced on down onto that loser's bracket. And keep in mind, they're going to be moving on up. To take Team Mai to that third map, they need to have a dominant performance on this one particular matchup because if they don't, they will not have the morale, they will not have the confidence to move on forward into their own gunfights. And look at the position coming out from the side of Excali. Excali pushing down straight through the smoke could be the thing that they need to get that first initial pick up, but Amaterasu, he has to go in for that swing and he pays the price for it. He gets taken down by one. Rafa with a running back is able to be able to find one of his own as well. The quality they're going to be piling on up. Excali does get that kill down on the RVK, but he gets sacked down to 33 HP. Not much to work with whatsoever. And Knight Rider, he wants to go in for that operator shot, and he's going to be able to find it as well. Beautiful shot coming out from him. Shots of rating supreme. And already 4 versus 2 on the map. Right to Ace and Vibor trying to find something. But their positioning is so far apart that I don't think they have much of a chance to try and take over this round.
Indeed, the force has been awakened within Knight Rider there.
My God.
Very nice shot. But hey, you know, it's there. I have to say it. It's down to this 4v2. And it's not looking too bright for Team Mahi, but Bibbo sneaking through the mid area. He's going to pick up a kill. Going down to Shivy. Right to Ace, finds one. 1v2, Spike has been dropped. 25 seconds left to play with. Right to Ace is determined. He's gonna spot out Shivy. It's down to a 1v1 between Skargon and Right to Ace. Is he gonna clutch this out? Right to Ace! Right to Clutch has returned! Right to Clutch has made an appearance once again.
Vibor, look at his face.
A play. Vibor. He was right there with Right to Ace. He got a kill, but he went down, leaving right to Ace with that 1v2 situation. And he must feel really great. We're gonna see it here once again on the instant replay. Tossing out that shock dart, which didn't quite work. But hey, he's gonna spot out Shivy, uses those barrels to figure out the exact position
Eyes up, right
of
here.
Scargon and played by jiggle peeking. That is skill and that is talent. I don't have it, but I'm gonna appreciate it. Good on right to Ace. We're gonna head into the next round. Full buys across the board. Knight Rider has the operator. He's gonna go really aggressive here. Amaterasu might not be safe. And yes, he does go down. It's gonna be a 5 versus 4. Team Mahim is gonna pick up the scraps.
But speaking, Excali, that was a little bit too ambitious coming out from you, Scargon. That was a little bit of a kiss for you from the side of Excali, but I don't think you wanted. So he just put a bullet straight into his skull. Excali does go down with Amaterasu on the side. And I do believe that Knight Rider, he's pretty much a kryptonite for Amaterasu. Every single time Amaterasu wants to take a corner peek or if he wants to take a fight, that operator is awaiting with his crosshair straight for his body, with the bullet straight going on through as well. Definitely a massive hit. Both of your duelists are now down, but this is very much possible because the dynamic duo of Vibor, Hellfighter, and
Player standing.
Right Wing is still present. This could be the kill that they needed. Vibor does get one, but RBK is already in a prime position to get another kill of his own. He's not going to be able to find much.
Last
5 and 6
round
on the
before the
scoreboard,
switch.
and honestly, ladies and gentlemen, the side of Force One, they have a lot of potency when it comes to their own attacking, own defensive side. Sorry, but it will all come down to that attacking side now. Even if this scoreline ends on a 6 and 6 or a 7 and 5, everything will be decided on how Force One approach their attacking.
Really great round for Force 1. And yes, we are approaching the last round before the swap. So this was a really good pickup for them. Now they can look to try and secure even Stevens on the scoreboard, or it might just be a repeat of map number 1 where Team Mahi got the 2 rounds over them. So, you know, it's up to Force 1 to try and change the fate of how this map is going to turn out. Excali now with the Bladestone very much ready. He is going to be trailing behind Amaterasu. This is the combo we love. In comes the Hunter's Fury from right to Ace, but Scargon's going to pick up Amaterasu. Excali! He's not going to find that kill. Right to Ace instead. Ace is going to pick up Scargon. Knight Rider takes out Excali though, and Vibor comes in for the return kill. Down to a 3v3, anybody's game. LFF, he does get flashed, but that metal door is going to save him as he backs away to safety onto site. Right to Ace, moving up onto Rafters, hoping to get a cheeky kill right through that little gap from the dark cover. Instead, he is going to push forward. Now, this is his typical Team Key style. Very aggressive in the post-plant situation, and it's all down to Rafa as he is the last man standing. Looks like history is going to repeat itself, but Rafa, he is looking to make a difference. Catches Vibor off guard. We do see right to Ace just backing away. Rafa throwing in the hot heads. He has no clue. The LFF is right behind him, and he's gonna go down. Oh my goodness, what a high pressure situation.
Switching sides.
But ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna end off the first half 7-5 in favor of Team Mahi.
Honestly speaking, the amount of game sense coming out from all the members of the side of Team Mine, it's absolutely astounding. Not only were they super aggressive when it came to their own post-plant hold, but they left Hellfighter in the perfect spot, being like, hey, Hellfighter, you need to hold down the side and you need to survive for as long as you possibly can. Not only did he just go sneaky peeky like around the side of the generator, he did not opt to go in for that swing onto the side of Rafa. And as he did not opt to go in for that swing, Rafa basically thought that, hey, no one can be on site because why didn't he swing me by now? He should have stopped me from even coming close to that spike. But Hellfighter understanding that, hey, if I let him come down here, I'm gonna have the best engagement for myself. He's not even gonna be looking at me, and I can land a perfect headshot. He did that beautifully. Played the mind games against the side of Rafa. Clutched out that round, taking us down to a 5 and 7. And once again, as you just stated, history is repeating itself. So let's see who's gonna be able to come out on top in this pistol round. Will it be the side of Force One once again, taking us down to a 7 and 7? Or is it going to be the side of Team Mai finally being able to break their streak of cursed rounds when it comes to pistol?
Alright, Team Mahi. It seems like, you know, they have gained a little bit of notoriety on their outcomes with the pistol rounds. But, you know, I always do want to see something a little bit different. Team Mahi on the side of defense. They're playing it a little bit defensive, except for Excali here. He's trying to get the tags, but Amateurasu's going to fall. RVK finds a beautiful double there with the ghost. 2 headshots in a matter of seconds. And now it's all down to Vibor and HellFF. Nice kill onto RVK. that is going to be a bit of a revenge
Spike
kill.
planted.
LFF coming through the flanks. Vibor a little overexposed. The paranoia hits him right in the
Player
face.
standing.
Down to 69 HP. 2 dark covers to work with, but hey, we ran out of time there as Rafa racks that up. That is going to be 6 points for the side of Force 1. Great beginning, very strong as usual in the pistol rounds.
I think we spoke a little bit too soon to try and break that curse. The caster's curse is always going to be present, and Team Mahi's curse is always there as well. But still, no harm, no foul. This is going to be a chance for the side of Force 1 to bring it on back and take us down to even Stevens on the scoreboard if the side of Team Mahi are not able to close this round out. A tricky round is always on the cards, especially when you're looking at a team such as Team Mahi's caliber. But when it comes to the default setups that they are trying to hold, they are not trying to force the issue onto a lot of their opponents. They're trying to play defensively, they're trying to play for the double peaks. But at the same time, look at the positioning from all the members of the side of Force 1. They want to make that push down towards that A side. They're trying to hold off the angles for as long as they possibly can because they want to give no form of information away before they opt to go in for that push. But slowly but surely, they're making their way up. The hot hands has been used, the audio cues have been given away that a lot of the members are holding down from the side of A, but every single member from the side of Team Mahi, they're not taking any sort of risk and they're full sending themselves from the side of mid itself.
Now RVK, he's going in for the spray, but that rush was just too quick. Team Mahi cooking up a different plan here on their eco round. Now Knight Rider's gonna put Excali down, and Shivy will secure that
Spike
plant.
planted.
Force 1 coming in full blast onto the A site. They are determined to push their lead. If down to this 4v4 right to Ace and Amaterasu, they set foot onto that rafters there. Shivy and Rafa taking cover right under. We do see 2 attackers there on long. HellFS, he sets foot, looking for the kill, but Shivy's gonna put it down. Rafa finds the kill. Knight Rider emerges. Make that a double for Rafa as the round ends. 7-7. Force 1. They are in this to win this. They're coming back from a 7-5 scoreline, which ended off in the first half. Now it's 7-7 here in the second half. It's gonna be full buys in the next round, and that truly is where the test is, because Team Mahi, they're very strong when they get their hands on those big guns.
This literally feels like a repeat of what happened in map number 1. Like,
yeah.
it all came down to that. Like, every single kill, every single member that died, I still remember that it was Knight Rider who died on Haven as well when it came to the second pistol round. So, the history is repeating itself. We could just be looking at another 30-8. We could be looking at another overtime. Anything could happen, honestly, at this point, because here is where the side of Team Mahi, they need to set their foot down and be like, hey, I know that we have a pretty lackluster approach when it comes to the pistol rounds. We're not able to win that out because of our curse, but when it comes to the first buy rounds, we are not going to be giving up any form of space towards you, and hopefully they are going to be able to show it. But with the positioning from all the members of the side of Force 1, they're playing it extremely split, trying to see if they can play for picks. But from the side of Team Mahi, they're not opting to give any sort of information away. They're playing it safe, they're playing it systematically, they're playing very disciplined, and this is what you need to do to go up against the team of Force 1's caliber. Because if you give them a chance, if you give them that first pick-off, Force 1, they're just going to be rapid-fire pushing you in a matter of seconds before you can even take a single breath.
Now 1 minute left on the timer. Force 1 scouring the area, and it does seem like RVK is trying to gain a little bit of mid control there. Meanwhile, the whole cavalry will be moving on to a short. We do see the setup from Scargod as he places those dark covers just to block off a little bit of vision. And meanwhile, Knight Rider and Shivy, they're gonna sneak through the garden. But Amaterasu's gonna stop Shivy. HellFF picks up RVK. Now Rafa comes in from mid, picks up a kill. Beautiful curveball, but Amaterasu's still gonna get the headshot on Rafa while blinded. And now Scargod placing that dark cover. He's gonna go in for the challenge. It's a 2v4 situation. The recon bolt comes in. Scargod's gonna take that out before it reveals his position. Now Knight Rider's gonna spot out the boar. Scargod goes down, and that's gonna be a cleanup from the side of Excali. And there it is. The guns are out, and Team Mahi, they're gonna claim a point for themselves.
Throwback to map number 1, because I clearly remember that one member only died when it came to the buy round of the side of Team Mahi. honestly speaking, everyone in the chat could say this is scripted, but actually this is not. This is just happening. This is fate. Like 7 and 8 on the scoreboard. Now that Team Mahi have won this one out, they are gonna be able to take a deep breath and understand that, hey, we are able to win this one out, we're going to be able to stabilize our economy, but at the same time, it is going to be the side of Force One now being finally able to upgrade their own guns and take the fights on a lot more of an even footing. And this is where they need to set their foot down as well, because if they let the momentum get away from them, this is going to be detrimental. But Amaterasu with a beautiful recon drone, coming out from the side of right to Ace, and a good tag, being able to find that first initial pickoff. And with that pickoff already, no jet for the side of Force One basically means that now the entry just got a lot more harder for their side.
Indeed, Rafa does have the running back available. No curveballs, however. The firewall could come in handy when it comes to controlling a particular area that he is trying to attack. RVK just gonna cruise on by the courtyard. Excali finds a kill onto Rafa. Now looking for his next victim, and that's gonna be Scargard. He watches the spike fall right in front of his eyes. And the last member is RVK. What? 1v5, caught in this situation. What is he gonna do? Now RVK pushing forward onto a lobby. He finds the kill on that Excali. Beautiful headshot. Make that a double kill. 2 headshots. But hey, there's still a long way to go. It's a 1v3. He could go for the save, or he could attempt a plant. 20 seconds left on the timer. RVK is picking up the speed. He's gonna soldier forward. Amaterasu raising that wall in perfect time. In comes the molly. RVK gonna be spotted out by both Amaterasu and right to Ace. That is gonna be a wrap. Team Mahi with the 2-round lead over Force One.
This is going to be a massive hit for their side, because now their confidence is going to be running on dry, and they will be feeling the pressure as well, because now with this round lost for their side, they're going to be forced onto another eco. And on this now eco round, they need to step up heavily, otherwise this could be all but over for them, because you do have to remember, if they don't get at the bare minimum of 3 kills on this round, they're basically not doing any form of damage towards the side of Team Mahi. And even if they are able to get that kill, you do have to remember that Excali, he's probably going to be picking up that operator in the following round. So now, you need to choose the greater of 2 evils. Will you just possibly go for that spike plan, not opt to go in for a lot of the kills, force the side of Team Mind to just hold down strong with those rifles so that you have a better chance in the following round, being able to win it out, not having to face off and against an operator? Or do you want to try and get as many kills as possible to make sure you solidify your advantage as much as you possibly can? It will all come down to what the side of Force One wants, because this eco round, they need to get some form of value. They need to either get that spike plant, or they need to get as many kills as possible. Otherwise, giving away double digits on this particular side without getting any form of value out of your own end, it's going to be a very huge blow towards the morale of the side of Force One.
Now with the less superior guns, this is going to be Force One attempting to attack, looking at Rafa and Knight Rider achieving mid-control. Team Mahi strategizing this round to play it a little bit more safe. Now the running back is going to be popped by the side of Amaterasu. Right away is finding the first kill onto RVK. And the Blade Storm has been whipped out by Knight Rider. Meanwhile, Rafa, he's going to trace back his steps, not soldier on through mid, because the attackers have an idea to go for the plant onto the A site, and that is Scargard just sneakily positioning himself there with the Bucky, taking out Excali, and it's an even playing field now, 4 versus 4. Now Shivy does have the Hunter's Fury, and that can be massive, but Hell FF is going to put him in the grave. Scargard.
I have the spike.
Now he has retrieved the spike, but he's got to be careful. There's Hell FF tagging him so low. Rafa does find a kill onto Hell FF, saving him. Right to Ace. Scargard. And that is going to be a kill for Right to Ace. It's down to the 1v1. Knight Rider and Right to Ace, who is going to come out on top. Right to Ace, not much health to work with. And he is going to back away. 10 seconds left on the clock. In perfect time, Knight Rider will secure that plant. Now Right to Ace on rafters, knowing that he doesn't have much health. Knight Rider spots out Right to Ace. Beautiful dagger right in the head. Thrifty round, or as you viewers like to call it, thirsty round. Not sure why, but that was an insane 1v1. Right to Ace didn't have the health, but that dagger was so clean, right into his head. Knight Rider. That is a Knight Rider we love to see, and right now he has a total of 20 kills, and it's kind of refreshing our memory of him. He has always been a superstar on Ascent, just very ready to get those frags, these angles. He's comfortable being on this particular map.
Remember when I said that this one particular round on this eco, they either need to get a lot of kills to win this one out and get that spike one. They didn't listen to me. They took it one step further. They were able to win out on that round. And honestly, this is going to be a massive confidence boost as well. Knight Rider, he does get the first and there's a pick up, but a little bit too much confidence coming out from him. He has to go in for the aggressive dash in the face of Amaterasu. Amaterasu going to be able to find that triple shutdown. Multiple 1 kill for 3 is not something that you would expect. He played that beautifully. That's great control on point as well. Rafa, he opts to use that run it back to try and get a little bit of his own information. The flash is in hand already. The spike has been picked up, though. A beautiful use of the run it back in the long run. A little bit of a miss flash, but in the long run it is fine at Daddy. So positioning prime. Excali, he wants to go in for that peak, but instead it's going to be Scargod with the spray, being able to shut him down. 2 versus 3 on the map. And this situation is very much possible for this side of Force One to clutch this one out, but Hellfighter, knowing him, he has a lot of sneaky plans ready for all the members of Force One, now making their way down towards this A-long cycle.
Now HellFF, he did spot out the paranoia. He knows roughly where the last 2 attackers are. HellFF, he could come in! Extreme! Oh my goodness, what? HellFF! He put down the trap wire, it did spot out Rafa, picks up the kill. Now Amaterasu, he knows exactly where Scargod is, and he's gonna pick up that kill. From the shadows he emerged, but keeping themselves fanned out, that was the right way to go from the side of Team Mahi. Securing 10 kills on the board. HellFF, that was so quick from him, knowing that a single member would walk up to the metal door trying to close it. Putting the trap wire there, it does spot him out. That was just crazy.
Remember what I said that, hey, I do believe that Hellfire, he has a couple of sneaky tricks up his sleeve as the members are going to be making their way down from the side of A-long. I expected that. Knowing that he had that trap wire in his hand, I was just so ready that they're going to be on me to go in for some peak like that, and that is going to be painful as well, ladies and gentlemen. Force One, they are going to be able to take aggressive control though down here from the side of B main and get a couple of their own frags. But before, he actually takes a little bit of damage coming out from the side of Rafa. Good shots coming out from him. Rafa does get another one down onto Hellfighter. The first member now going on down from the side of the defenders, and with this they can slowly but surely make their way down. The positioning is prime though from all the members of the side of Force One, opting to go for multiple members on the one singular side line, but Stallion is going to be able to find a beautiful shot of his own. Right to ace with the 100 speed, he's able to find 1, he's able to find 2, he knows exactly where the other members are going to be at. All of the last 2 remaining members are holding down from the side of B main. Side control has already been established, and Molly's are going to be piling on up. Jimmy gets tagged out of 49 HP, he doesn't have lots of HP to work with. Excali with 1 headshot. And right to ace with that classic to shut down another. A little bit of a jazz hands coming out from the side of Excali on that jet, but still, no harm, no foul. 8 and 11 on the scoreboard already, ladies and gentlemen. And Team Mahi, they are ready, and they are kicking to take this fight back into match tempo.
11 is to 8, and this is so close to the turnout of map 1. It did end off 13 to 8. Let's see if Force One will be able to try and save this one. They need just a couple of rounds, a few rounds, you know. I do believe in Force One, but they're just looking a little bit disjointed at the moment, and hopefully they can identify that. Very unfortunately, they have to go for an eco round here. Now Amaterasu with a very aggressive stance right into B main. Amaterasu with the control.
Ooh, RPG!
So quick with that sheriff. It's Wild Wild West, but not this time as HellFF comes in with the Vandal, puts him down. Meanwhile, Excali is going to find a kill onto Knight Rider now, and the neural theft has been dropped by HellFF. They know exactly where the last 2 attackers are. HellFF spots out 1. Gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. And the last man standing is Scargod with the Sheriff and a Dream before puts him down. And that is gonna be match point, ladies and gentlemen, for Team Mahi. Force One, they've got to make a 4-round consecutive win. If they still want to stay in this running here, they need map 2 to take it into map 3. But Team Mahi, there's no slowing them down. Momentum is high. They are so comfortable in defense. And right now, with the full buys, I mean, it's do or die for Force One. Their economy is not exactly in a great place. And the scoreline, if TM takes it, it's going to be over. So F1, they need this round.
Now with the operator coming on down from the side of Knight Rider as well, they need to get a lot of value out of it, but at the same time, look at the positioning from all the members of the side of Team Might. They want to get this kill down onto RBK. They do not want to give away anything down on this B main sideline. They want to try and get the first man advantage as soon as they possibly can. The position at Hung are going to be found out as well as Excali. He puts a bullet straight into the skull of RBK in a matter of seconds. Gets the ultimate point of boot as well. And no one from the side of Force One opted to go in for an aggressive hold down here from the side of A main. They did not opt to go in for that push. But a lot of the information was given away. There were only 3 members holding down from the side of A. They did not test their grounds. And this is going to be a huge detriment for their sidelines as well, because Amaterasu now holding on down from the back end. Such a beautiful recon ball coming out from the side of JB, actually catching him off guard. It's going to be Rafa with an aggressive dash in of his own. And one Hellfighter, he was actually able to survive that, dodges our Rafa so beautifully. What is up with the Cyphers today? And just dodging out the running back close. One by one, the bullies are going to be piling on up. Before with one, Hellfighter with another. Knight Rider, he's looking for a couple of his own. Scar1 and Knight Rider, simultaneous kills from both sides. And look at behind you, Knight Rider. Sorry, Scar-God. It's going to be a Amaterasu holding down from the back end. But Knight Rider, he does get another one straight on the bit more. Pulls out the knife. He wants to get this kill. He's thirsty for it, but he's not going to be able to fight it. Instead, it's going to be a Amaterasu with a bullet straight through his skull. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a 2-0 to end of this set. It's going to be Ascent and Haven going into the bag of Team Mahi as they win out this set and move on forward into the upper brackets.
What a best of 3. Congratulations here to Team Mahi. Moving on to the next stage of the competition. Remaining in the upper bracket, and unfortunately Force One, they're going to be shifted down to the lower bracket. But hey, it is not the end of Force One's journey. Now, this ending here on the instant replay, it was a very frantic round, I would say. And, you know, unfortunately, F1 kind of missed the mark there. But look at the scoreboard. Look at Knight Rider. He surpasses everybody. And this was the Knight Rider that we were so excited to look at. I just think it might take a little bit more time for F1 to kind of fully adjust with themselves together. Now, let's move into the LG Ultragear match highlights and talk a little bit more about what went down in this best of 3. So I'm going to begin with F1. Knight Rider was on fire. He was fire burning on Ascent. And those op shots were clean. 23-13 on his KD. He was truly shining. Now, for F1, we can see a little bit of a disconnect when it comes to the synergy and whatnot, but I do feel that they are going to get better over time. And it's great to see Force One kind of come out so strong, because they definitely exceeded my expectations as a team, and I have a really good feeling about them. You guys have to definitely keep track of Force One in the lower bracket, because they are definitely going to come in guns blazing. They're not going to give anybody an easy time. 2 maps, 13-8, you have to say that it was relatively close. So the performance on Force One's end was definitely impressive. And as for Team Mahi, consistency is key, and right now they are showing their dominance. And this addition of Vibor into the squad, I quite like it. It does look like they are still solid. And Excali here with 17 kills. Amaterasu with 19 right at the top. It's great to see Amaterasu back in action. The IGL of Team Mahi, giving those calls, leading his team towards victory and fragging out of his mind. So it was a great performance. I thoroughly enjoyed this best of 3. What are your afterthoughts, Aggressive?
And for me personally, I do believe that Force One, they had a pretty rough time when it came to the map control basis. When it came to the side of Team Mahi, they were just perfect when it comes to their map control. They knew exactly where to hold, they knew exactly where to go to come out on top on their own engagements, and this really gave them that edge in comparison to the side of Force One. And as you just stated, it all comes down to the side of experience, and in time they will be able to improve upon it. And just see that one particular round where Hellfighter plays that tripwire. And Amaterasu understanding that, hey, the Omen has that ultimate, he is going to be making a rotation play with that ult if he does not get that plant on one particular side. This team play and coordination and communication coming out from all the members of the side of Team Mai was the thing that enabled them to win out on this set and this map in particular as well. Because every single time we just talk about Team Mahi, we always highlight their mechanical sense, their strats, but here it was all about the communication. The communication was just so key from every single one of their members. No one misunderstood anything. Everyone was ready to go in for the triple peaks, go in for the double peaks, use the abilities in conjunction of other abilities. And with the addition of Vibor, as you just stated, he is such a good fit for the team. Every single time he uses one of his paranoids, uses one of his smokes, his team is just ready to pounce on the opportunity and then go in for the plays. And Force One, they need to understand this as well. Communicate a little bit more because they have the fundamentals, they have the strats. They just need more practice and they need to just talk to each other more at this point.
Indeed, and most of these teams that we see in the Invitational, we can see them steadily progress for the better throughout the entirety of the competition. So I'm really excited to continue watching the journey of Team Mahi and Force One. Congratulations once again to Team Mahi for taking this win. And Force One is not the last time that you guys will see them. So for more action, remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notifications whenever we are live. Unfortunately, we have come to the end of the first half, but we do have a second half kicking off at 8 p.m. So subscribing is going to be really important. The notifications will remind you to come and join us. And now as we end this off, thank you so much, Aggressive, for joining me on the panel. It was such a blast to cast. And it was just a whole lot of fun. Now, for you guys, remember, if you want to play like the pros with 144Hz, 1MS gaming monitors, you can check them out from LG Ultragear. And also, if you want to upgrade your gaming gear with the latest esports offerings from HyperX, links are in the description. You know the drill. So until then, at 8 p.m., I hope you guys join us. We'll see you guys next time. Happy gaming.